What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video. After a day of low support, that's right, Call of Duty did not save the business, and apparently it looks like our boy Phil's ready to wage quit indie game night. That's right, it only took 2 nights, and the boy Phil's already looking for an escape hatch to get out of playing indie games. Because of course we know, the first time Phil does anything new, the Dents come out in full force and support. And then they realize it's pretty boring and it's the same old content that Phil provides. So the Dents, withhold. That's right. And it happened yesterday. Sadly, the calls for Call of Duty to come back did not resonate into meaningful support. So Phil officially has wage quit Call of Duty. That's done. No more of that. And then he is on the prefaces of potentially wage quitting indie game night. So let's see what Phil had to say on the Daily Wrap.
Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Monday, the 2nd of February, 2026. If it looks like I'm a little taller, I adjusted my chair for the evening stream, realizing that all this time that I've been using this chair since I got it in, December, that it's been a little bit too low to the ground, and I just upped the height a little bit. I was like, oh, this feels a little bit way more comfortable. I can actually reach things a little better. Oh, okay. So you'll notice there's a little bit less space between me and the Daily Wrap sign up there. Anyway, I hope that you all had a splendid day. I did. Despite the fact that things didn't go perfectly, I'll explain why. I feel like today was a great day. I feel like there was great content, good chill vibes. Everyone enjoyed the content. So let's talk about that. Despite the fact that it wasn't perfect, it was still pretty good. We started off today with an episode of the DSP Morning Show, and we talked about various topics. What I like about the show is that we don't have to have any predetermined stuff set to talk about like I usually do with my podcast. Jasper showed up. He was here for like 5-10 minutes, hanging out, looking on camera. We talked about how the younger generation these days are spending an insane amount of money getting food deliveries, which apparently wasn't something that I was aware of. I get food delivery at most twice a week. Usually if there's a DSP Tries episode I'm doing like today, or if I have a day off, and my wife and I just don't want to cook because we cooked every other day in the week. But apparently there's like a New York Times article explaining that the whole younger generation, particularly since COVID, have been ordering food almost nonstop to the point where some of them are spending 1/3 of their income a year on delivery food. So we talked about that. We talked about all kinds of topics. It was actually a really good show. If you ever want to watch a show where you don't know where the discussion is going to go, but a lot of the times the discussion is good, check out the DSP Morning Show. It was a great episode earlier today.
Okay, folks, no, you don't have to check it out. I'll give you a quick recap. So yes, he went into like a 15-minute rant about the youth. That's right, the youth spending all their money on DoorDash. And I literally... It's segments like that that make me want to punch something. Really, honestly. Because it's like, look, you hypocrite. Are you really talking about people spending money on DoorDash? I'm going to give you a number, folks. Ready? $4,800. You know what $4,800 is? $4,800 is how much Phil spent on DoorDash during the 18-month period where his bank leaks were exposed. I believe it was around $4,800. The man spent on DoorDash. He literally spent more on DoorDash than most of his utilities. He spent more on DoorDash than his gas bill and his electric bill probably combined. And he has the nerve to lecture people about spending DoorDash. And the other thing is, Phil, everyone knows, come on, brother, you don't order DoorDash twice a week. You probably order DoorDash twice a day. Okay, we know, and just by the looks of you and your robust wife, that you guys order DoorDash way too much. Now, you see, this is where Phil likes to massage the truth, right? Because he's told us that he has ordered McDonald's at night, right? DoorDash ordered McDonald's, either fries or ice cream, because him and his big wife like to eat ice cream before they go to sleep. That's right. Snack ice cream. Snack ice cream, just like the gourmet snack pizzas, right? So we know he's done that. So I'm assuming he probably does that still, right? So you see how he massages the truth, where if you corner him, right, and you find out that he's actually ordered DoorDash more than once a day, he'll sit there and say, well, no, that's different because that wasn't a meal, that was a snack, so it's different. You know what I mean? The semantic side Phil here. So we know he's just full of shit. Literally full of shit. I'm going to put a video together. I'm probably going to put it out today. I'm almost done. Where I'm taking a look at how much this motherfucker spent on DoorDash in the last year. Simply just on the day off DoorDash orders, because we know it's twice. You know, we know it's twice for breakfast and dinner. So he orders DoorDash twice on those days, just simply on those days. And then back then, you know, when the Keno arc and all that stuff where he used to do Feasting with the Pig every week, you know, for the money, you know, he ordered DoorDash at least once. So we can quantify at least 3 times. Each of those times, he spent over $50, minimum over $50, right? So if you do the calculations, Phil, you know what I mean? It's easy to see how much money you spent on DoorDash, and it's in the thousands, okay? And this is a man who just recently got away from filing bankruptcy. This man who used to sit there and beg and used to dress like a clown so that people can throw him money. The man who used to beg for $50 in tips because he needed liquidity to pay his bills. You know, he's going to sit here and complain and bitch that too many people, the youth, spend their money on DoorDash. While I agree, I think DoorDash is a waste of money. You should never order fucking DoorDash. That is just a waste of fucking money. You want to get some takeout, get your ass in your car and go walk and pick it the fuck up, okay? It's not that difficult, all right? And most of the shit that you want is within you know, a couple miles of your house. All right. So I think DoorDash is just a waste of money. But listening to Phil talk and pontificate and act like he is better than these people is just laughable. Especially when this motherfucker spends so much money on DoorDash and orders so much. And this isn't just me saying it. This is his own words on his stream. And this is also the 18-month of bank leaks where the guy spent nearly $5,000 on DoorDash. $5,000 a year in about a little over a year on DoorDash. Anyway, I'll do a separate video on that because I want to look at the numbers. I want to actually look at the bank leaks to get the specific number. And then what I want to do is I want to calculate on average what this guy has spent in the last year or so on DoorDash alone to give you a picture of what this guy orders and spends on DoorDash. Because yet again, he's a hypocrite. It's laughable. You got to watch that clip. I'm actually going to attach it to this video because it's laughable hearing him. In this chat, nobody in the chat was buying what the hell he was saying because everyone knows it's a flat lie and he's just being an utter hypocrite. The irony was just off the charts. So let's keep going. He's going to talk about, of course, wage quitting Call of Duty now.
Okay. Then after the morning show, it was time for Call of Duty. Now, what I want to make clear here is that the morning show, people actually really enjoyed it, people who were there live, and they supported it well. We have made over $50 of support just on the morning show, which is like an hour, okay? So I was obviously very pleased with that, and I'm very pleased with how the morning show is going. Despite the fact that some days, the view on demand, like the on-demand video, doesn't get a lot of views. Doesn't really matter. You know, it's just kind of a bonus uploading it for the few people who are interested. The show itself is doing well. The hangout session, we have a good time, okay? So then we played Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Today, I actually used a different mouse. I used one that has weight to it rather than the light one that I was using previously. And I used some different wrist rests here. And essentially, I had the best session of Call of Duty Black Ops 7 I've ever had. That is not an exaggeration. Every single match, I was in like the top 3, and I had a positive kill-death ratio. Sometimes I had 2 times, almost 3 times kill-death ratio. I was absolutely positively tearing it up today, particularly with the LMG. But even when I was swapping to my alternate, my handgun to do that daily challenge, when I was trying to do things, just basically everything was kicking ass. Seriously. I was just going crazy. And the thing is, people that were there were cheering for me. Like, yeah, good job. And the attendance was good. But during the entire time I played Call of Duty, that was 3 hours of Black Ops 7 today, I only got like $20 of support. That's not an exaggeration. It was like 3 hours of gameplay, $20 of support. No.
I'm gonna stop you here because this is gonna be the highlight rant of my video here. Okay, and when I get to the point, you know, you're gonna know what I'm saying. Just remember this specific point here where he's talking about only making a certain amount of money on a certain segment. Okay, all right. Please remember that.
No one supports Call of Duty. Seriously, it's bad. It's to the point now where like I've tried playing Black Ops 7 so many times, like 3 or 4 different times, and it keeps just not getting supported. I'm done with it. And the thing is, that's a shame. I had a great time playing it today. I really did. I got better at it. I unlocked new things I wanted to try, like akimbo SMGs and other things. I can't keep streaming this game when no one wants to support it. I just can't. I'm sorry, you know? So after Black Ops 7 ended, we did DSP Tries It, the Shake Shack Korean barbecue menu that just launched, and I tried the burger, the chicken bites, and the cheese and barbecue fries. If you're wondering why I didn't try the milkshake that originally I talked about, they refused to deliver milkshakes. I don't know why. On any delivery app, there's no milkshakes listed, so you just can't get one ordered. It wouldn't let me get any flavor, so I couldn't do the milkshake. But here's the
Yes, you idiot, because on average it takes about 30 minutes to do delivery. By the time they get it to your house, it'll be melted, and you'll be the type of idiot that'll bitch and complain about it and want to get a refund because your milkshake was melted. That's the reason why most places like Uber and DoorDash do not deliver milkshakes.
Funny part, I finish playing Black Ops 7. I start doing DSP Tries It. Over $20 support comes in. So people supported in droves for the morning show and then for DSP Tries It, but no one wanted Black Ops 7. So listen, I hear you loud and clear. That's enough for me. I'm not going to keep playing it if no one really wants it and certainly doesn't want to support it. So that's the last hurrah for Black Ops 7, which is a shame. Again, I like the game. I don't love it. I think it is one of the worst Call of Duties I've played, but it's still silly fun, especially now with my new setup, being able to control it well and everything.
Okay, Phil, I don't care. So he wage quit again for the 5th time, Call of Duty. All right, this is my little rant here, folks. Are you guys ready? All right, so he literally complained about receiving support, minimal support on certain segments. So he mentioned that on his on his podcast, he got $50, and then on Feasting with the Pig, he got $20, which means he got another $30 for his playthrough, right? Don't you guys remember about 2 weeks ago, he was sitting there complaining and bitching about me, right? And he said that his wife, Fat Cat, apparently saw a video that I posted where his office was flooded, right? And then Cat was in there, you know what I mean? And I had posted, the title of the video was essentially DSP. It was something to the effect that DSP played a game and only made like $20 in support, right? And he wage quit the game, right? Which he did. He wage quit the game. He got pissed off at me and yelled at me and said I was a liar, I was a filthy I made shit up and so on, right? When it was actually true. The point of the video was that the gameplay that he played that day only made him $20. And he bitched and complained and said, well, you're an idiot because, you know, you got to look at the whole stream. I don't segment my contributions. It doesn't matter. You know, I stream for a total of 5 hours and I hit my goal or whatever it was, right? And he called me a liar and I made shit up, right? Then you have this fucking moron right now literally segmenting out his support. Just to prove a point. Oh, guys, I only made $25 on Call of Duty. See, it's a terrible stream. I'm going to have to wage quit it. You see the hypocrisy that I'm talking about here? He calls me a liar. He calls me someone that makes shit up because I posted a video that stated he only made $29 on a stream and he wage quit the game, which was all factually true. There was not a false statement in that video, right? But of course, you know, he wants to shit on people like myself because I make shit up. No, Phil, I don't make shit up. I take the content that you post, right? And I frame it. Yes, I do frame it. I frame it in a way that shows the truth, okay? I translate pignosis for people that don't understand pignosis, okay? So when you sit there and you try to manipulate people, you know, I try to help people understand what you really mean, what the true intentions are of your manipulation, okay? That's not lying. You could call it as framing. Yes, I do frame the argument, but everything I use is your information, your content that you post out there, brother, okay? Just because you don't like it, you know, and it exposes you for being a fucking fraud and a liar, that's your personal problem, all right? So next time I post a video where I show that you only made $10 on a stream, you know, you better not come off and start yelling and bitching saying that I'm lying, okay? Because you just did the same thing right here. You basically broke down your support by segment and bitching about it. Even though you made $100 in total for those 5 hours. You made $100, right, Phil? You know, just like last night, you made $100 last night when you did your unrecorded bag segment. You played that submarine game, whatever that ocean game or whatever, and then you played T2, right? Right? You made $100 there. So again, the next time you start going off and bitching and yelling at detractors for lying, fuck off, okay? Because I'm going to point to this right here, this video right here, where you're actually doing the same thing. You're segmenting the segments and saying that you only receive this amount support, and that's a justification why you're going to wage quit something, okay? God, this fucking liar, man. It's such a scam, isn't it, man? Such a scammer and a dirty, filthy little pig roach. Jesus Christ, man. And again, this segments like this just go to prove that he's full of shit. The only thing he gives two shits about is money. Money, money, money. And if he's not making that money, if he's not hitting that $150 goal, that's right, goal, then he has a problem. Then there must be a problem, folks. because the Velcro wallets didn't magically open up and shower him with money. When you know, Phil, it's way more than just that, okay? Sometimes it's economic situations. Sometimes the disability checks didn't go through. All right, Phil, but of course you want to play these semantics and these little games. You know what? Fuck off. All right, fuck off with that nonsense and that bullshit. So never again come off and say that I lied or made shit up, okay? Because that's what literally happened here. Good God, man. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.